Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you to my whole family, everybody coming here from far away to celebrate this special day with Hannah and I. Hannah spoke about how we are supposed to treat a stranger. In Mishpatim, the Torah tells us to put ourselves in their place, to feel empathy for them. But what if someone is not a stranger? What if we just dislike someone or even hate them? Do we have to put ourselves in the shoes of someone we don't like? In Mishpatim, we are told, Ki tere chamor son'acha rovetz tachat masav, vechadalta mi'azov, lo azov ta'azov imo. When you see the donkey of your enemy lying under its burden and would refrain from raising it, you must nevertheless raise it with him. Another way of putting this, sorry, Rabbi, is when someone is an ass and their ass falls down under a heavy burden, you must help raise the ass's ass. Well, what does this mean? One of the ancient rabbis explains it this way. Two donkeys are being led down a road by two people who don't like each other. After a while, one of the donkeys collapses under the heavy weight he is carrying. The other man thinks to himself, is it not written that when you see the donkey of your enemy lying under its burden, you must nevertheless raise it with him? So, he helps his enemy's donkey stand up and reattaches its load. The second man is shocked. He thinks to himself, I cannot believe that he hates me. See how concerned he was when he saw that my donkey and I were in distress? Though the two men are enemies, we are told that after this incident, they become friends. Now, we all know the expression, kindness begets kindness, or what goes around comes around. The message is that acting with kindness towards someone shouldn't depend upon whether we like them or not. In fact, we are told that we must treat our enemy with kindness. This lesson is important in big ways and in small ways. I've been going to the same summer camp, Camp Kiwani in Maine, for 3 years. And because I've been going for so long, I've made a lot of friends there. But last year, during the second session, a new camper moved into my cabin. He and I did not hit it off because he was a homophobic Republican. But I noticed something. It was his first year, and he didn't have many friends. He was homesick. One day, I noticed he was alone during free time. So I asked him if he wanted to play tetherball with me. He said yes, and eventually we started talking. Even though I didn't want to become best friends, I still helped him get acclimated and feel welcome. There is a famous story about the Christmas truce of World War I. It happened in 1915. There were two rows of soldiers facing each other on trenches on the Western Front. The Germans were on one side, the Americans were on the other, and they were doing everything they could to try to kill each other. But on Christmas Day, a group of German soldiers began to sing Silent Night from their trench. Then, the American soldiers began to harmonize from their opposing trench. After the song, a young German soldier emerged from his trench, unarmed, with his hands in the air. Slowly, the rest of the army followed. After making sure the coast was clear, the Americans also climbed out of their trenches. Suddenly, a soccer ball was soaring and cheers filled the air, a true Christmas celebration. The Christmas truce obviously didn't end World War I. The war went on for another 3 years, and it was one of the most brutal and bloody wars in history. But for that one day and that one moment, kindness led to kindness, and enemies saw each other as human beings. Being kind to your enemy is hard work, and it's not always possible. But Mishpatim tells us that small acts of kindness can build bridges. As the donkey driver said, I cannot believe that he hates me. See how concerned he was when he saw that my donkey and I were in distress? In the rabbi story, the two enemies become friends. That's a little far-fetched. And I'll be honest, at the end of the summer, that kid in my cabin was still a homophobic Republican. And I still did not want to be his friend. But I don't think the Torah is telling us that we should be kind to our enemy so that he will be kind to us in return. I think the lesson of Mishpatim is that acting with kindness is a part of being a good person. What kind of people would we be if we walked by a suffering donkey and did not help it, even if it's our enemy's donkey? And what kind of people would we be if we walked by our enemy while he was suffering and did not help him? Even in war, there is a code of conduct. If our enemy is wounded, we are supposed to help them. Why? Why do we treat enemy prisoners well, even though they tried to kill us? Is it because we want them to behave the same way towards us in return? Well, partly. At least we hope they will. But the Torah commands us to do it regardless, to be the bigger person. When you see the donkey of your enemy lying under its burden and would refrain from raising it, you must nevertheless raise it with him. Why? Because that is what it means to be a Jew. It's less about hoping that kindness will beget kindness, and more about making sure we don't let hatred define us. As Jews, we must raise our enemy's donkey when it is struggling, because that is who we are. Shabbat Shalom.